The last time I looked at a PS Vita accessory, it was this, the official Sony carrying case. And, well, I didn't like it very much. I mean, just look at this thing. It's exposed on all sides except for the bottom. The Vita can just easily wiggle in there without much effort. When you open it up, it's just this flippy floppy mess of nightmares. Oh, and it sheds leather everywhere. Oh, let go of my Vita. Just get away. Oh, there's so much leather. But someone in the comments of that video mentioned this, the hoary face cover, which I didn't know existed, and I was gonna get one, but the only one I could find on eBay was in Australia for way too much money, and the shipping was also really expensive. So I kept digging around on eBay, hoping to kind of find something similar, and then I came across this, which is very similar, shockingly similar, but this had to come from Italy for some reason, and I can't find any information on this thing at all. If you do any sort of searching for like Mad Catz PS Vita armor or anything like that, the closest thing you can find is a case that looks exactly like this, but it's only for storing games. It's not for the Vita itself, but this one is actually for the Vita. It just clicks right in there. And I gotta say, I actually really like this thing. One kind of sad thing about it is that they just left the bottom of this completely flat, so it doesn't really change the ergonomics of the Vita at all. If you find the Vita comfortable to hold normally, you'll find this comfortable, but it's not gonna really improve it for you. But by far one of the nicest things about it is this little hinged top. If you're just gonna throw it in your bag, it protects your screen and your analog sticks, but wherever you put it, it just stays there. So you can actually use the console while it's in the case. Still have access to all the important things like your charging port, headphone jack, and memory card slot. This is on a double hinge. You can just fold it all the way back, and then you can get at this to change your games. Now this is the kind of thing that the Nerf case for the PSP was really missing, because this thing it doesn't stop at all. It just goes. Now I've got a bit of a confession to make. I'm not really a fan of any PS Vita games, to be honest. I primarily use mine for playing PSP games, which is why every time that I feature the Vita, it's always running Adrenaline. But if you are interested in this case for just playing Vita games, it has this nifty little back panel, so you still have access to the rear touchpad. And it also gives you access to all of my disgusting fingerprints. But we're just gonna hide those away. Now there are a handful of things about this that aren't super great. Number one is the shipping. It was cheap, at least for me it was. Wherever you are, it may differ, but I received no shipping information whatsoever. It arrived like a month after I ordered it, and it was just loose in a bubble mailer. No packaging, it had no protection whatsoever. It was just loose in a bubble mailer, and that was it. And the fit of this isn't exactly great either. This could have happened just because of how it was shipped, but at least the right side for me, it doesn't completely click into place, which is a little unfortunate. It does kind of come out a little too easily. But I mean, despite those flaws, it kind of does everything that I want in a Vita case. I'm finding it so hard to really complain about this thing. You know, I'd be pretty confident just sliding this into a bag and not really having to worry about the console getting damaged or anything. It does feel thin though. I will say that. Like, I feel like the only reason this kind of stays in place is because it's so lightweight, and that kind of goes for the rest of it as well. You know, I wouldn't expect it to really protect your Vita from any sort of drops or anything. You know, it'd work pretty well for like casual travel. I just wouldn't do anything too extreme with it. A rare thing for me to be able to do is I'll be able to actually have a link for this guy down in the description. So if you did want to get one of these for your Vita, now bear in mind this only works for the 1000 model. I don't see a version of this for the 2000, so 1000s only. There seems to be a lot of these still available from both the seller that I bought from, and then there's another seller that seems to have the exact same price and product. But just to say again, I wasn't particularly thrilled with the shipping. Like I said earlier, absolutely no tracking information. None. And I got it a month later. So your results may vary on that, but that was my experience. But I'm happy with the case itself. Now there's one thing that still bothers me about this thing. I'm not going to be able to look at this thing without thinking about how Mad Catz killed my PSP battery. Oh, hold on. I've got an idea. Here we go. Hot off one of the cheapest inkjet printers on the market. There we go.